Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE SmackDown episode 1093, 205 Live episode 190, and Raw episode 1411, broadcast on July 31st, 2020, and August 3rd, 2020. I'm recording this just mere moments before, like 50 minutes before tonight's episode of NXT broadcast. I'm recording this on August 5th, 2020. So I'm going to make this really quick. I didn't actually take notes for Raw, but I did like Raw a lot. I didn't take notes because I was watching it on my phone while I was at my sister's house. But yeah, I did enjoy it quite a bit. I also I really liked SmackDown but I have not yet watched this episode of 205 Live, so I'm going to start right there. Oh my gosh, we have a new episode of the R-Truth game show with Roman Reigns as a contestant. That is awesome. I need to watch that as soon as I can, which I could watch it right now, but I'm not going to watch it right now. I'm going to watch it in a little bit. So we have, I need to look up 205 Live, see what happened on this episode. So the July 31st episode, I'm already signed up. What are we doing here? Don't load it up. Don't autoplay. Okay, the Premier Athlete Tony Nese teams up with Isaiah Swerve Scott. Oh yeah, I was looking forward to that, to take on Legado del Fantasma's Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. We also got Arya Daivari announcing his return. Well, it looked like this entire episode is just that one match. That's got to be epic. I don't know who won the match. I've got to watch that. That must be excellent. It's a full 22 minutes of just that match. That's going to be awesome. Okay, so there you go. That's the 205 Live talk. Over on SmackDown, we had promos to start the show like we did the previous week. I really, really like that. I hope that they continue to do that. Hopefully, they're getting lots of feedback. I realize that maybe they already filmed those two episodes together. So we'll see next week or this week. If they are still doing it, then they are getting good feedback, I think. But anyway, Bray Wyatt says he never wanted to hurt Braun. He wanted to help him, but now he wants something that Braun has, and that thing is the Universal Championship. What did I write there? So wet. Oh, that's right. Bray Wyatt is very, very wet during this episode of Firefly Funhouse. Then we had an excellent match, AJ Styles versus Gran Metalik. It would have been so amazing if Gran Metalik had won. But he did not. AJ Styles won via the calf crusher, but man, Metalik is a monster, and I think I've already mentioned that before. It's not news to me, but hopefully more people got to see the incredible stylings of Gran Metalik. Wink, wink. Baron Corbin backstage. Oh, and then AJ Styles then attacked Lince Dorado afterwards. What a jerk. Baron Corbin backstage tries to befriend Shorty G. Says, hey, the king's bounty is on Riddle's head. The bounty is yours if you want it. Jeff Hardy feels good, but then Corbin arrives and Drew Gulak attacks Baron Corbin. So you get Drew Gulak versus Baron Corbin because they're supposed to have a match anyway. Baron Corbin wins via the end of days, and then Riddle attacks after that. But then Shorty G comes and joins King Corbin's side. What will happen next here? Is Shorty G an evil G, or is he just playing into he's playing Corbin a fool? Maybe he's just still going to trick Corbin into trusting him. We'll see what happens, but that also is a pretty good match. Then we had Biggie versus The Miz, which was fantastic. At one point, John Morrison was ejected. He kept trying to interfere. And then Biggie won via a leg thing. He won via submission. It was awesome. Also, Biggie's entrance, he just rolled down the ramp like a log. That was pretty great. pretty great. Shinsuke Nakamura meows at Lince Dorado. And they give him Cesaro and Shinsuke tell him that they blew it. They blew their chance. Naomi versus Lacy takes place. And Naomi wins via a backslide pinning situation. Sheamus, let's see, claims that he was in a handicap match because he was surrounded by Jeff's greatest ally, alcohol, as you might call it. Otis and Mandy, private barbecue. Wait, what am I talking about there? They were talked about having a private. They're going to a barbecue restaurant in a private room, and they're getting ready to go on that date. But then Sonya attacks after lurking, and then cuts up Mandy's hair, messing up her makeup. All of that is, oh my god, so pretty. And then there's a whole like crime scene report scene after that with who was even I think it was Corbin was talking about it or something. And no, it wasn't Corbin, it was Miz and Morrison, and they said Mandy's hair is like her best thing. It's a tragedy. And then they made about 20 different hair puns, which was pretty great. Then we had the main event, Nikki Cross versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley won. Let's see. But before that, the ring that they used, that thing that she wears on her hand, Sasha Banks wears on her hand, was ineffective. Nikki saw it coming this time, and then Bayley wins, and she says, better luck never. And that's the name of this episode. That's what I call this episode. And afterwards, Nikki is kind of devastated. Alexa tries to console her, and Nikki like shoves her. First, she bats her arm away, and then she shoves her and then storms off. And Alexa is distraught, but then the lights shut down. All that. And then the red lights come on. Recreating the Fiend sound effect. The Fiend appears and attacks Alexa Bliss with the mandible claw. And that ends the episode. Friggin' incredible. I am so hyped to see what happens next. I did not think that was going to happen. And it was super awesome. I also thought that Alexa's going to turn on Nikki. They were hinting at that last week. And to have the reverse happen, not even turn, they're not like, they're not turned against each other, but to have that little bit of separation was enough for the Fiend to get let in. And it was awesome. That was so cool. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So there you go. I don't even need to talk about Raw. Raw was pretty good. In my opinion, I liked a lot of the parts of it. We had 10 out of 10 for SmackDown this past week. But over on Raw, let's see. What can I remember that happened? We had... I don't even remember. I can't remember. Nia Jax came out to apologize, but then did not apologize, and then challenged that official that she had attacked to a match instead of it was so weird. And then she got suspended indefinitely, and then she attacked the guy again. So maybe she'll get fired. I don't know. We also had a special announcement that something from Shane McMahon was going to be a big announcement. Shane McMahon returns with something new and different. It's Raw Underground, an underground fight club that's in like some warehouse nearby, or maybe it's just in the storage room of the performance. I think it's just in the storage area of the performance center. But anyway, while that's going on, the lights like keep going out a little bit. The microphones cut out, all that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of production problems. And as it turns out, there was a gang of people in all black who threw Molotov cocktails at the power transformer outside of the performance center. And there's video footage of them. After close analyzation, I have come to the conclusion. Well, we later found out earlier before the show, social media said there's going to be a new faction on the show tonight. And it seems they may have jumped the gun on that because we did not get enough information for this to be deemed a faction. They're just a bunch of hooligans, a bunch of deviants out there causing destruction to private property. Tisk tisk. But upon closer inspection, I've watched it a couple of times. This is my theory. There's, at least from the voices, I feel like there's definitely one woman in the group, possibly two. And from the body language, from their body movements, I get a strong vibe that one of them is Jessamine Duke, which also makes me believe if there is a second woman in the group, that it is Marina Shafir. And the rest, I was originally thinking that they're Undisputed Era minus Kyle O'Reilly, however, or minus Adam Cole. However, now that they've been named, I don't know if it's a mistake that the name of this group has been announced, but on social media, they're going by the name of Retribution. No puns in there, no silly spelling. There's not like a Y in place of the I or anything like that. Just Retribution. And yeah, so my solid prediction for it is that Jessamine Duke is part of this group. But that's as far as my prediction for it goes. Possibly, if they are tied to the Raw Underground, to that Fight Club, it would make sense if it's all people with MMA backgrounds. So if you have Jessamine Duke, Maria Shafir, who else has MMA backgrounds from NXT? I can't think of any others off the top of my head as far as male wrestlers go. But I think that could be a strong possibility. And if they're the ones who take over, we also had in the Raw Underground, we had Babatunde in there. It was something Kano. I forget. I can't remember what the first part of his name is. Like it sounded like maybe it was Daba Kano or something like that. But he has a different name now. So now he's had 3 names on television in the past year. I don't know if he's appeared on regular as Babatunde in the past year, but he was in WWE Main Event. He was like the main villain, the end boss, and his manager is Ken Marino in the movie. Go watch that movie. It's fun. I liked it. There's some ridiculous stuff in there, but it is like for kids basically, but I think it is enjoyable just to watch as a wrestling fan. But anyway, Babatunde was in there. The Viking Raiders had a fight. Dolph Ziggler had a fight. He beat some people. And then the Hurt Business, after the officially Apollo Crews was deemed, yes, he is the United States champion. And he now has both of those belts. And he says, I'm going to hang this one in my kid's room so I can see the first championship that I won. And then I'm going to get this one that MVP paid for himself because I earned it and all that. So that was pretty awesome. But the Hurt Business, also Akira Tozawa won the 24/7 championship in a triple threat match. All the ninjas came and helped. I feel like all the ninjas came and helped him do that. But so Akira Tozawa is the championship. So the Hurt Business has no championships. Mad, furious. MVP hears about this Fight Club. He's suspicious. We need to look in this. We need to find this Fight Club, this underground, and attack. Also, there were dancers, women in very skimpy outfits, like fishnets and thongs and all that kind of thing. And they're shown maybe a total of 3 seconds the entire time. So it's kind of weird to have them there if they're only going to show them for that very short amount of time. Or just either show them more or not at all. Just to have them for like 5 frames of video at a time is kind of weird. But anyway, the whole situation is very weird. Very like early 90s action movie, like representation of what an underground crime ring might look like. And I think because it's cheesy, but it's not cheesy enough. I think that's why it doesn't quite work as well. I think it has some great potential, but the actual fights I think could be pretty awesome. There's no ropes around the ring. It's just a ring. There are the posts to hold the ring together, but there aren't any ropes connecting the four corners of it, and I'm interested. But the Hurt Business, they take over WWE Raw Underground trademark, and MVP says, this is our show now. But then Shane is still there. Everybody else like runs away because they destroy everybody who's in there. And Shane McMahon is like, oh, hey, welcome. It's anything goes here. So this is Raw Underground. Shane's still trying to be the host of this bizarre nether underworld underground thing. So I did enjoy all of that. It was so ridiculous. And then also my favorite thing from the whole night. Also, so we had Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens. Does his name have an S at the end? Why? I can't. I feel like it's a Berenstain Bears situation. It's Owens. Fight Owens. It has an S, right? I don't know. Anyway, he has the Kevin Owens show, and his special guest is Ruby Riott, but it's a trick. His other guest is Liv Morgan. And he wants them to talk, and he says, "Hey, I have experience with ending friendships because for my career, and it's never a good thing. So I just want to try to help you out if I can." And so they get to talking, and before they can actually talk, Ruby says a lot of stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're best friends. And Liv didn't seem sure yet, but then the Iconics interrupt, doing their iconic thing with their accents and everything. And they agree on one thing. Liv says, hey, we might not be friends like you, but we can agree on this, that we're really great at starting a riot. And then they start a fight, knock him down, and then they challenge him. I forget who makes the challenge, but they said, all right, well, let's fight then. So they clear the ring, get all the Kevin Owens show stuff out of there, and they have a tag team match, and they are back together. Ruby and Liv are back together as the Riot Squad without Sarah, who is away now, but maybe someday in the, maybe Sarah could come back after that little Viking gets born or something. I don't know, whatever they want to do. But for now, Ruby and Liv together again, Riot Squad strong. And that is pretty great. So I think that's everything. Yes. Lots of great stuff that I'm excited about. That being the biggest thing that I'm excited about. Oh, we also had the whole Sasha and Asuka and Shayna Baszler situation. All that stuff that's happening. I forget exactly what. Sasha is like, oh, wait, well, I think she was talking to Asuka. You can get a rematch if you can beat this former NXT champion. Woo! One of the four horsewomen, Bailey. Bailey is very upset. So seeds being planted. These two putting each other in bad situations. It is kind of taking each other for granted, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But very excited. I'm excited to see what happens next. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there you go. NXT tonight is going to be awesome. There's a triple threat between Ridge Holland and Oni Lorcan and Damian Priest. I think Ridge Holland is going to win that match. We have a number one contenders match between Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai to determine who will fight Io Shirai. And I think we have a bunch of other stuff announced that I can't remember. Oh, what happened? Oh, I almost accidentally switched files. Oh my. Also this week, I think other stuff has been announced, but we also have Undisputed Era versus Imperium for the tag team championships. So yeah, let's see what happens. I can't wait. And so because I can't wait, I'm going to end this recording for this episode. So let me know what you thought about all this stuff by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe in iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.